Application of Paulo Freire's framework to Flaherty's No More Heroes by Kim Allen. In this presentation, I will apply Paulo Freire's Pedagogy of the Oppressed to Jordan Flaherty's No More Heroes, Grassroots Challenges to the Savior Mentality. What is a savior and the savior mentality? A prototypical savior is a person who has been raised in privilege and taught implicitly or explicitly that they possess the answers and skills needed to rescue others, no matter the situation. They are taught that saving others is the burden they must bear. The savior mentality means that you want to help others, but are not open to the guidance from those you want to help. Saviors fundamentally believe they are better than the people they are rescuing. They want to lead and never follow. Flaherty. Applying Freire's concepts of liberation and generosity to the savior mentality. Certain members of the oppressor class join the oppressed in their struggle for liberation. As they cease to be exploiters, they almost always bring with them marks of their origin, their prejudices, and their deformations, which include a lack of confidence in the people's ability to think, to want, and to know. The generosity of the oppressors is nourished by an unjust order, which must be maintained to justify that generosity. Our converts, on the other hand, truly desire to transform the unjust order. But because of their background, they believe that they must be the executors of the transformation. They talk about the people, but they do not trust them. And trusting the people is the indispensable precondition for revolutionary change. Freire. Colonialism and manifest destiny. Colonialism has historically been enforced by military violence, but today's conquests are often masked as charity, and international aid has become the first line of engagement. We engage with the world as saviors and leave devastation behind. In 1843, President Andrew Jackson famously called U.S. territorial expansion extending the area of freedom, an ideology known as manifest destiny, as in destiny of white people to dominate the rest of the world. Flaherty. Dehumanization, although a concrete historical fact, is not a given destiny, but the result of an unjust order that engenders violence in the oppressors, which in turn dehumanizes the oppressed. Freire. Since Jackson's day, U.S. foreign policy has changed in tone, but not mission. We still define ourselves as rulers of the world. We're just more polite about it. In U.S. international aid is contingent on accepting our country's moral instruction and political guidance. Our government provides development aid and loans through the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, in the International Monetary Fund, and the World Bank. But that comes with demands for neoliberal restructuring. We donate to rebuild after disasters, but U.S. disaster relief comes with instructions to buy U.S. products. We engage with the world as helpers, but only on our own terms in ways that benefit us. Flaherty. Here's a photo of Samantha Power, the current director of USAID, and a picture of USAID working with the military. As you can see, the lines between the military and humanitarian aid have been blurred, which isn't surprising under Power's leadership and the new military humanism, an oxymoron. All of this humanitarian aid is a form of false generosity. Our government can pat itself on the back for providing food aid to those in Africa and others around the world. However, much of the food aid helps farmers back home. And what is the U.S. doing to address the root causes? True generosity consists precisely in fighting to destroy the causes which nourish false charity. False charity constrains the fearful, subdued, the rejects of life to extend their trembling hands. True generosity lies in striving so these hands, whether individuals or entire people, need be extended less and less in supplication so that more and more they become human hands, which work, and working transforms the world. Freire. What is the white savioral industrial complex? The white savioral industrial complex is not about justice. It's about having a big emotional experience that validates privilege. Teju Cole. From Sachs to Christoph to Invisible Children to TED, the fastest growing industry in the U.S. is the white savior industrial complex, wrote Teju Cole in a series of tweets later printed in The Atlantic. Cole was criticizing a general trend, but also specifically targeting neoliberal economist Jeffrey Sachs, New York Times columnist Nicholas Kristof, and a charity called Invisible Children, best known for their Coney 2012 video. In 2026, in 2006, Sachs convinced billionaire George Soros to finance his Millennium Village project. He would use 10 African villages to show that poverty can be eradicated by investing enough money. Sachs was wrong. Sachs denies that his project failed. He even calls it a big success. But we will never know because there were no proper baseline measures collected before the start of the project, nor are there control villages with which the Millennium Villages can be compared. Charisma, good intentions, and a brilliant mind are not sufficient for success. The main complaint of the villagers was that the project had a top-down approach, and their voices were not heard. Sachs saw the poverty puzzle as a simple calculation. Add the correct interventions and you will get prosperity. But he forgot the most crucial piece of the puzzle. He failed to listen to the people about the project. As Freire would teach, he failed to dialogue with the people. Leaders who do not act dialogically but insist on imposing their decisions do not organize the people, they manipulate them. They do not liberate, nor are they liberated. They oppress. Without this faith in the people, dialogue is a farce which inevitably denigrates into paternalistic manipulation. Freire. Attempting to liberate the oppressed without their reflective participation in the act of liberation is to treat them as objects that must be saved from a burning building. Freire. Thank you for listening.